Hey everyone, it's Rihanna and welcome back to another TV review. This is for one of my favourite shows at the moment and it's called The 100. If you guys haven't watched the show yet, it's about 100 teenage delinquents who live in space because Earth was wiped out by a nuclear apocalypse, and while they're in space they send these teenagers down to Earth to see if Earth can be inhabited because they're running out of oxygen supplies. So while these kids are on the ground they have to sort of form laws and there's all these difficulties, and it's just such a good show. If you guys haven't watched it yet, definitely go check it out. The first sort of 3 to 4 episodes can feel like really sloppy, but when you get past that it's just such a good show, and the second season was amazing. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today, season 2 as a whole and the season finale. I actually did a review of episode 1 of season 2. I will leave that down below in the description if you guys want to go check it out. But this is spoiler filled, so if you've not watched season 1 and season 2 of The 100, please don't watch this video. You've been warned. So I finished watching the season 2 finale of The 100 a couple of hours ago, and I needed time to sort of sort through my mind and my brain and my thoughts about this season. It's definitely stepped up from the first season. I think in the first season the writers sort of had to get to grips with what was going on and how they wanted to write this series and the characters, but as the first season went on it got more into its own, the characters got more into its own, and that just stepped up 10 times more in the second season. Every single episode was so intense because it's a 16 episode show in season 2. Everything felt important, every character had to be developed really well, everything was super duper intense, and I feared for every character's life. I mean, this season we've lost many characters including Anya, Finn, Fox, lots of characters, lots of people died in the season finale, but it had to be that way. Yeah, this show really doesn't take any mercy whatsoever with characters. They will just cut them off without any warning. That's what I kind of like about the show. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, and I compare it to it a lot in terms of violence and how they treat the characters. You really don't know who is going to die when. It could just happen at any time. As for the characters this season, from the start my two favourite characters have been Clarke Griffin and Bellamy Blake, and Bob Morley and Eliza Taylor, who play them, does such a great job this season. Amazing, amazing acting this season. In the first season it kind of felt like the typical CW teenager show where everyone who was like 20 years old was playing teenagers, blah blah blah. But yeah, this season, in season 2, everything stepped up. The acting was amazing from all the cast members, especially Bob Morley and Eliza Taylor. Obviously this season was based around them getting the 47 out of Mount Weather, because we started off with Clarke, Monty and Jasper, and the rest of the 47 in Mount Weather. Clarke escapes and the rest of the season is her making a pact with the Grounders and stuff like that to get them out, and it's just been a very long drawn season and plot. It's a very good plot, but it was very drawn out for me. But the season finale really worked with her getting the people out of Mount Weather. It was a 2-part of season finale, which I'll talk about more later on. We got some really great new characters, including Commander Lexa, who is one of my favourite characters. I really hope she returns for season 3, even though the actress who plays her is in the new Walking Dead spin-off. Hopefully she will come back. We also got the president of Mount Weather and his son. We got President Dante and Paige, who I hated. I hated Paige so much. He was a very, very good villain just because he didn't feel any pain until it came to his father Dante. And their plot is obviously to capture everyone on Earth so they can take bone marrow out, so they are allowed to go outside, because if they go outside they'll be infected by the radiation. So there was a lot of violence and blood when it came to characters in the mountain this season. We also got Maya, who was part of the mountain people this season, who had a sort of love interest with Jasper, and it was heartbreaking to see her go in the season finale. She honestly got the characters through so much this season, so I want to give a round of applause for Maya. Loved her character, really sad to see her go. We all knew from the start though, with the radiation and the separation between her and Jasper, there was going to be difficulties with her character. I love the representation on this show of all the characters. I mean, half of the leaders are women, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. I love it so much. We have person of colour representation in the show, which is great, and we also have a disabled character in Raven Reyes, who is an amazing character. I love her so much. This show does a really great job with representation of characters. We got some LGBTQ characters this season, with Lexa and Clarke Griffin being bisexual. Yay! It's like somehow the writers managed to keep the plot going as well as develop relationships between characters and have character development within individual characters which is amazing. We also have the storyline with Felonious Jaha in this season. He's heard of the City of Light and he takes Murphy and some people to go find it, and in the season finale we'll learn something really interesting, which I'll get to later. But all this season with the characters and the plot, it's really been enjoyable. Everything's been super intense. I've been on an emotional roller coaster pretty much this season. The writers, directors, producers, Jason Rothenberg, the creator of the show, the actors have done an amazing job. So far season 2 has been my favourite and I cannot wait for season 3. Just wake me up when season 3 is here. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the two-parter season finale. We obviously had Lexa betraying Clarke when they were trying to get inside the mountain and she traded them for her own people. Hopefully we'll see Lexa again. I really liked her character and Clarke and hers chemistry going on, and it was just nice to introduce some LGBT characters into the show, which not many shows do that these days. So congrats to you, Jason Rothenberg, you did a good job. It was a shock when Lexa betrayed Clarke, but it wasn't even out of character. We just thought that their relationship was so close that she wouldn't betray Clarke, but it wasn't out of character at all. She was totally capable of doing it, and we all knew that she could do it and she would do it. So that was amazing. Like, we knew that she was in character and she was capable of doing it, but it was still a shock. So the writers did a really good job. Clarke throughout the season has gone through so much crap. I love her as a character. She's a great leader. I mean, she had to sacrifice Finn, who she loved. She's just such a great character, such a strong character as well. She's just been amazingly portrayed up until this season finale, where her and Bellamy have to release the radiation through Mantweather so she and the other 47 and the prisoners can escape. Yeah, she's been through a lot of shit this season and I really respect her character. I'm very sad to see her not go back to Camp Jaha, but I give Bellamy about 2 weeks, not even that, 2 days before he goes looking for Clarke. I'm pretty sure she's probably going to go find the Grounders, and she's not too happy with Lexa at the moment, so I'm really interested to see where she goes and what she discovers. A lot of things happened in the two-parter of the season finale. We go back with John and Jaha, who have found this sort of lighthouse on land, and he sacrifices 2 people to this sea monster and it's insane. John finds this like bachelor's pad with lots of food and drink, and this guy shoots himself in a video, and then Jaha meets this woman called Ali who's like a hologram and AI thing, and she has this nuclear missile, so that's going to be interesting. The 48 still don't know that Clarke killed Finn, so that's not going to be good, but now she's obviously gone. Bellamy's going to have to take some sort of leadership over the camp with Abby and Kane. I'm just glad all of my favourites survived, okay? I was really worried about Raven Reyes, and yeah, I'm just glad she's alive, and all the people I love are alive. Octavia is such a badass. I love her. I really want to see more Indra in the show. I love Lincoln as a character, and I'm so glad he slammed Cage down because I hated Cage. Hopefully this isn't the end for the Grounders. Hopefully we'll see Lexa and Indra return. I want to expand this world that we're in the 100, because only a certain amount of the ground has been like explored. We don't really know much about the Reapers yet. We had something in the beginning of season 1 that had a sort of deformed face that looked like an orc from Lord of the Rings. So I want to know what's going on there, and how these mutated animals with the sea monster in season 1, the sea monster in the finale, and the mutated gorilla through season 2. I want to know more about the animals on the show. The cities as well. I want to know what these droid things are with Jaha and Murphy. It was a good season finale. I can't say it was my favourite episode during the season. I think I hyped myself up too much for it, and Jason Rothenberg, the creator of the show, cheeses a lot. So I was expecting the worst. He said there was a big body count, and there was, but thankfully it was no one I loved. Yeah. The last episode, Blood Must Have Blood Part 2, kind of felt a bit rushed for me, but then again I forgot that it was a 2-parter, so I should have just watched one after the other. Overall, the season finale raised a lot of questions for me. What is going to happen to Bellamy and Clarke? Is she going to find Lexa? What are the Grounders doing? What is happening with Jaha? It left me hanging, and I really can't wait for season 3. Season 2 has been amazing. I may go back and rewatch it because it was just super intense, lots of twists and turns and blood. Just an amazing season, especially for its second season as well. Just going up, up, up. I don't know why more people don't watch The 100. It's probably the best show on the CW at this moment, and one of my favourite shows on for a while now. It's becoming one of my favourite shows of all time. So those were my very jumbled thoughts on season 2 of The 100 and also the season finale. Let me know what your favourite parts of the season and the season finale were down below in the comments. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I do new movie reviews and TV reviews every single week. All my social medias will be down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you very, very soon. Bye!